And then I was on a detail with 3 jeep loads of guys on reconnaissance. So we're going down this long road, and we find this road turning off to the left. It had 2 big stone lines guarding the gate, iron gates there, which we opened and went up this long driveway, and it was shaded by Lombardy poplars, which is the most favorite tree in France, I think, because everybody had the damn thing. When we got to the top of this grade, here was this big building, about a block long, 3 stories high. There was stables, and there was garages on the outside and other buildings. So we split up. We started searching around to it. Some of the guys went on the second, some went on the 3rd floor, and me and Vernon and another soldier was on the 1st floor and went through there and couldn't find anything. Come back out and there was a door there, and I looked and opened it, and it was steps going down in the basement. So we go down to the basement, and dark as it can be, no lights coming in whatsoever from outside. And down at the bottom of the steps was a bed, and laying on this bed was an old man with white hair and white whiskers, and his sheets and his pillowcases was the whitest thing I had seen in years. And he was laying there with his eyes closed, his hands folded on his chest, and a smile on his face. And I looked at this, and I noticed alongside the bed there was a candle burning. Now anybody that's ever burned a candle knows that after a little while, you light a candle, and after a while, the wax starts running down the side of it. Not on this candle, somebody had just lit this thing before we come down the steps. But there was all kinds of passageways down there and all kinds of doors, and we wasn't about to go see what it was. So I told Vernon, I said, let's get out of here, Vernon, something's wrong. So by the time we got up the steps, the machine guns started firing out in the yard. So we ran over to the window and looked, and 2 of our guys was laying dead there in the front yard. They had been bushwhacked by a German machine gun set up in the woods over to the left. So the rest of us got out there and we picked them up and run back down the hill to the jeeps and back down the road a piece and got on the radio and called for fire support. Now, if you've never been under artillery fire, you learn something real quick. American artillery has real slow shells coming through the air, and the Germans has fast ones. All at once, our air was just completely full of artillery shells. They leveled that entire building. They leveled all the outbuildings around that place, and even the woods on both sides of it was scarred up bad. Whoever was in that building, in that basement with that old man, was buried under tons and tons of rubble. I feel sorry for him, but that's the way war is. So when we got out of there, I went and had to go back to my outfit, and we got transferred up to Arlon, to the 62nd Field Hospital that was set up there in the school. And we had some more rest and help and everything, and got along pretty good up there. Arlon in Belgium is a beautiful little town. It's a place where it'd be nice to live now, believe me it would. But anyway, we was there a couple of weeks, and then we had to transfer to another place, to another outfit. We transferred to the 28th Infantry Division in the Huertgen Forest. And this was one of the bad places to go, boy, believe me it was. It's all forests, it's all hilly country, and the Germans, at the bottom of it is the Saar River, and tank traps every place, pillboxes every place, and it was the most heavily defended piece of ground that the Germans had. You couldn't go nowhere with it. And the commander of the 28th kept pushing his men forward to take Aachen, but he couldn't do it because of all the stuff in front of us. And a lot of casualties. Well, we worked a lot of hours taking care of those wounded guys. And then the bad part of it is, if you're in a forest, under artillery fire, the tree bursts, splits the shrapnel up and sends it straight down. It comes right down into your foxholes. And then the tree limbs and the trees fall over and kill guys. So we was there for a week or so, and we couldn't But they finally pulled us back, and then we went back to Arlon. We get back to Arlon, we stayed there for a couple of days, and then they sent us up to a new division that was just on the line at I can't think of the name of the place, but it was 106th Infantry Division. And it was a new outfit on the line, had never been in combat. It was 2 black regiments and a white and a black regiment. It was something new that they was trying out. Well, we got there, I think it was on the 14th or the 15th of December, a couple miles behind them, and we set up a little aid station there in an old barn, and we was living in it. And on the morning of the 16th, the whole sky was on fire. There was 50, 75 miles of artillery fire into our lines. And you wouldn't believe how much it was and how noisy. I never seen that much artillery in my life. But 2 of those black regiments broke and ran. And the white and black regiment stood there and held the line until they was overrun, and most of them was killed or captured. So about that time, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, I guess it was, 7, we go up on the road with our mess kits waiting for the chow truck to come and feed us. Then we're standing up there waiting, and one of the guys said, "Look at all them tanks down there." And somebody else said, "Hell, those are German Panzer tanks. They're not American." And about that time, a shell come whizzing over us, and we broke and ran. You better bet we ran. We ran all the way back to Bastogne. When we get back to Bastogne, they gathered us all up and assigned us to different people, told us to go with this outfit, and which I did, and we had to go south of there to set up a line of resistance. So now, we're going down through these woods and going past over this little creek, and we got on the other side of it, and the engineers blowed up the bridge, but all our equipment was on the other side. And they blowed it up because here comes some German tanks down. Well, we couldn't get our equipment, so we had to leave there. They couldn't get across either, but their infantry could, so we had to leave there. And we went back through the woods to another place, went down this old country lane, and there was a man and a woman laying dead alongside the road. And up on the hill was an old farmhouse. So the captain said, "You guys go up there and check it out. Let's see what's up there." So a bunch of us goes up there, and we looked, and we found 3 little girls huddled together in a room there, all by themselves, nobody else around. And we figured that the dead people down by the road was probably their parents. Don't know why they died or anything. But anyway, the captain told me, he said, "You stay here, you're a medic, you stay here, and we'll have somebody come and pick you up and take you and the girls back and turn you over to the Red Cross." So I stayed there. I got out some K rations, made a little fire there in that fireplace, and cooked the girls something to eat. And they hadn't eaten for a long time. They were starved to death. And they all spoke French, which I couldn't. So I named them Gigi, Ouija, and Mimi. I think Mimi was 4 years old. Gigi was about 7. The other girl was probably 6 or 7. I had no idea. But I stayed with them, and we all huddled on the floor under one blanket that night. Woke up the next morning, and I'm looking down the barrel of a German Mauser. And here's a couple German soldiers inside the building. They had captured us. So their captain made us come outside, or their officer, whatever he was, made us come outside, and he looked at us and looked us over and told us in English, "Will you stay here?" And he put a guard over the door, and he gave us some rations. He was a very decent, honest, honorable man to do that for us. And every day, for a couple of days, they had the guard right outside the door. And we couldn't go out, we stayed inside. And then I woke up one morning, and I heard a racket outside, and I went and looked, and here was a Sherman tank. Patton's army had arrived and liberated us. And then they put us on some jeeps, and they took us back into Harlem. Turned the girls over to the Red Cross.